Reconnected and free. Find new ways. The podcast from and with Maya. Who are you? I want you to take, at the beginning of this first ever English podcast episode, a moment to really let that question sink in, so that you are thinking of who you are. Now let's see, what have you thought of? What are the things that came into your mind? Is it your name, your age, your profession, your hobbies, what you like? What is it that came up? Now it's interesting when we look at these things, because we can now see what you are identifying with. Because to make this a shortcut now, you are, and that's it. It's so simple. As I can say, for example, I am. And then you think, because of all the conditions, everything that everyone has ever told you, that something has to follow after this I am. For example, as we said, your profession, your name, your age, where you're living, what your hobbies are, whatsoever. But no, it's just I am. It's enough that you are. Just that you are. And that's so simple. It sounds so simple, even though it's not so simple to get back to that stage, to live that. But you know what? It's great that you have found so many things that you like, that you took with you, that you wanted as your personality, that you are now. And also we can make some distance between what we all like, what our life is about, and the person we really are. Think about everything as something surrounding you, something you have access to, and it's great that you know yourself. And when you don't know yourself yet, that's totally fine too. If after this I am was like, who should I be? And you should be the person you want to be, from the truest heart, from a perspective of love to yourself and to your future, but also a person, I'm convinced, we should all be someone that serves, that does somehow good into this world. And it's not about being the greatest person ever who's helping millions of people whatsoever. It's about these little things often that you experience in your everyday life. Do you want to be a person who's looking away if harm is happening, or someone interferes? Do you want to be the person who is even more sad when they see sad people, or do you want to be the person that is smiling at the other one so that you can all be happier? Because yes, as simple as one smile, it is sometimes that can make a whole day better. So we can all think about that. It's not just us doing something in our life, it all affects everything. As you know, the butterfly effect may be that the wings of a butterfly's wings can cause at the other end of the world a huge chaos, a huge impact, and that's a review. We don't know what we can do, what will happen after what we did, all these ripple effects of our actions that come back to us somehow later in our life, but also that are finding their way and their effects on other people. And this is so powerful. So we can all contribute on this earth society. We can all make this world a better place with just simple actions. So that's a lot for now. A lot of things that can happen out of your actions for yourself and other people. But let's get back to yourself. You're this person defining yourself with some stuff, maybe also looking for what else you could define yourself with, because people, they really want good for us, many people. So they are asking us what we are doing with our lives. And when you're in your 20s, as I am, and I can imagine that for all the people too, that people want you to have all your life figured out. They want to know if you have family plans, what you want to do as a profession, so which job you will have, like kind of for the end of your life, and where you want to live. And yes, there are many expectations. And yeah, it seems like you need to share yours and you need to have a plan. Otherwise, you're not as far as others or as you should be. But let me tell you, they they aren't mean. They don't want to push you. They most of the time they want to be good. But yes, it can feel uncomfortable. And really, we we don't need to have it all figured out. Not in our 20s and even later. We don't have to. As long as life is not happening to you, but for you, as you realize that everything is happening for a reason and it's happening for you. So you aren't passing by your own life. You're creating it actively. You're manifesting. You're creating your new self, who you want to be. And that can change. The same as the person you are now at some point in your life. And I think you're not 100% happy when you're listening to this podcast episode because you're somehow craving for more. Maybe it's just something that doesn't feel right anymore, something you want to achieve, but maybe it's like to get into the other opposite direction. Maybe you want to change your whole self because something has happened, because you know that you can't continue being the same person, doing the same stuff you already did, but that didn't work. That doesn't feel like the right thing to do anymore. So let me tell you, you can always start changing yourself. It's a process. It takes a lot of time and healing, and also believe in yourself that can evolve, and believe in, yeah, I would recommend believe in some kind of higher power to support you. This is really helping me to believe in the universe and into energies. Yeah, just that you know that you can always change something, adjust something, and life is happening and we can't see everything that will happen. So we sometimes have to react, to adjust, to change something, maybe to change ourselves and our life completely. So yeah, you can just trust in that, and we can always find new paths, find new ways, as this podcast says. Yeah, so not only that you don't need to know everything in your life and you can just change every time. We are also can to change now. We always can change. So when you are now saying, okay, there are things in my life, I don't know if maybe you know what's not going the best way, maybe you just feel this little feeling of that you're uncomfortable and you can't really say why, then probably something is changing inside of you. Because our inner and our outer worlds, they are always affecting each other. So most people are living from outside into inside. So they are creating their world, and then they think they just need to earn more money, they just need to live somewhere else, they just need to do this or be that or something. But that won't make them happy, not long lasting, not really deeply intense happy, and you want to be happy, and you want to have your great life, and you can now start on really believing that you deserve that, because you do. Everyone deserves their best life, and everyone deserves to feel good. So the other option, to continue that thought, maybe many people are buying something, and so it's something in the outside world, so that unconsciously, they are most of the time not aware of that they unconsciously feel a certain way. So they are doing something in the outer world to get something in the inner world. But this is not healthy. This also always leads you to the point where you are chasing something, where you are always feeling like you're missing something, and you just need to go further and further and further, and you're pushing yourself, and you're not feeling good, and it's not good for yourself. Yes, be ambitious, have your goals, go out there, do your best every single day, and remember, the best you can give is always an all right. It's always the best. It doesn't have to be the best for anyone else, but for yourself. At the end of the day, just get into bed, be grateful for yourself, for what you did today, and that you did your best. This is all that matters. So have your long-term goals, achieve them, get further in your life. Of course, we are humans, we need to grow somehow. But what about changing perspectives today? As you're finding your own personality, it's important to look inwards, to see, who are you? What made you yourself? And to go through all these processes to find a vision of who you want to be, and just figuring stuff out for yourself and taking your time with that. And also thinking about not only what you want to have, because then you're like in this outer world again, like I need this house and this car and this job and this money and this person on my side. No, but let's just look inside. What are the feelings you're hoping for, you want to live in? Maybe you want to feel more relaxed, more calm, maybe brighter, lighter, happier, more in peace and harmony. Maybe simply just good, just having no pain, maybe. But I would recommend, it's okay if something like not this or that will come up, but I would recommend to find the positive form, because you're attracting this then. And the universe doesn't understand no or not. So it's just that you are attracting what you are saying. So when you say the positive form, it's way more powerful. It would lead you better to your goals and better to where you want to be. And also, instead of, I don't want to feel so much pain, maybe just, it's healthy for you. It's that you want to feel good, whatever the word is, but you're getting it. It's simple, it's just positive, and it's the best result. So you can start with something, but that you are getting there where you are feeling, where you are convincing yourself, because this is the truth, that you deserve the best. So you can also crave for the best and imagine the best, and not only something that would be okay. So don't let yourself get confused from other people who are like, okay, it's just fine, it's all right, it could be better, but no, you can have an extraordinary life. You can be extraordinary happy. You can be extraordinary healthy. You can live extraordinary long, whatsoever. So you see, the world is way bigger and way more full of opportunities than you might think today or right now. Because when you're changing yourself, working on your personality, then you will attract different things. And you will also frame your mind differently. So you brighten up your perspective and you focus on the good, you focus on what you're looking for, your goals, your best feelings, and so on, so that you can easily attract them. Life is a game. As simple as that. Life is a game. You just need to get to know how to play it, start playing it, getting better in playing it, so you can use every energy, everything that is happening for you. Also like also something simple as I'm saying, but I can understand in these situations it's not that simple. Every challenge you're getting is because you need to grow. You're outgrowing something, some old personality, some old kind of life. And this challenge is there for you. It's a gift, it's a present for you to change your life, to change yourself and get where you belong, to get something better in life than before. Even though it hurts in the first moment, it hurts so much. But when we know how to get through these hard times, it's really healing and it's helping a lot and it's changing a lot into the positive. So it's all about the perspective. I'd love to talk about that another time. But let's again get back to your personality. Let's say you don't know who you are. Then let me kind of say something to you that you might not want to hear, but I'm saying it anyways because this is also what I'm here for. You know who you are. You know it exactly. And your brain might say, no, 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 I don't know, and I don't know, but I need to know, and it's stressing out. But hey, that's all right. Just that you know who you are. It's somewhere maybe deep inside of you. It's somewhere maybe hidden. Some say it's in your heart, some say it's in your soul or somewhere else, but it's there. You came with this, who you are, and your purpose of life. You came with this into this life on this earth, but you forgot it on the way. You forgot it because of all the people who conditioned you, who told you that you should behave in a certain way, that you should be in a certain way, that you should and you shouldn't, and whatsoever. A lot of stuff is happening. And this is not against you. It's not that someone wanted you to forget all your dreams and who you are, and that's why they are all mean to you and want you to be in a certain way. No, everyone, as I said before, is always giving their best, hopefully. And the best might not seem the best for you, but it's the best for them. And we need to acknowledge that. That doesn't mean that everything that is happening to you and everything that happened in your life is all right. And some things need to heal. Some people need professional help, and this is all right. It's so amazing when you can feel and see that you need help from somewhere and then you're getting yourself the help. This is an amazing step you're doing forward. It's for yourself. Wow. So you're conditioned, you're a certain kind of way because the people they want the best for you. Let's say best case scenario, and most of the times it is. So they want to protect you from some stuff. They want to teach you their experiences so that you have it easier in life, that you can grow. But let's say that way, no one is perfect, and many people haven't been on their healing journey. They have a lot of wounds themselves, and they also grew up in maybe not the best environments, maybe with some beliefs they evolved that are holding them back from being happy, being healthy, living their best life whatsoever. But you know what? We can't change what happened to us, but we can change what who we are now and what kind of will be happening. Of course, there are always things we can't know that will happen, but we can always we are always in charge of how we are reacting, how we are acting when a challenge is coming, when something is happening. And then we are always coming back in these extreme situations, especially to our mechanisms, to who we are used to be. So we have to create a space where we acknowledge this is what we are, this is who we were like, and all my beliefs and everything that I am helped me to survive to this certain moment now in my life. And I'm grateful that there's a system inside of me that protected me, that got me here, that I'm, as I said, still alive, because we are still humans that have a long history and many, many generations before us. It was really on survival. So we still have this survival mode in us. And these beliefs we we evolved, this person we got to be, this helped us somehow. But let me tell you that the same things and beliefs and the same person that got you to this point where you are, whether you're happy with it, a little bit happy or not happy at all, but it won't bring you where you want to be. And you know where you want to be. Or at least you know where you don't want to be. And this is also a really big step when you can say, okay, I don't want to live there anymore. I don't want to have these friends anymore. I don't want to have this crisis. I don't want to have this or that. So you can say at least a little bit how you want your future to be like. And you are at the point now where you can heal and create. And for me, these two go hand in hand, because we need to heal, we need to create space. So we have to look at certain things that have happened. We have to feel the emotions that we suppressed, the emotions that want to be here. Maybe these are all tears, all the emotions, all anger that will come up when we really look. But we need to feel them, acknowledge them, be grateful for them, and look why they are here and what they want to tell us, because every emotion is there to feel, to be felt, and to really say us something. They all have a message for us. So we are at first healing and creating space with that, and then we are creating the person, the life that we want to have. And I also want to add, because okay, to be honest, this might sound a little bit crazy, or really crazy. But I want to show you that it is possible to create a new self. And I can talk a lot, and of course you have to experience it by yourself, and everyone has their own time they need for change and for changing themselves in their lives. And as I said, sometimes it's just little things. Sometimes you want to change your whole personality. And I want to tell you this little crazy story. When I was like middle school, I was always a really sporty person. I did rowing. I was training every day for many hours. I had these kind of challenges, and I won some prizes, and I was successful. And I really liked it. I even had sometimes that I didn't go to school. They allowed it so that I can have my contests, so that I can have my challenges, and so on. So I was really obsessed with that, and I really liked the sport. But when I then was in middle school, there also something else came up, where others in my age had the possibility to just go out after school, to just grab something to eat together, or they were having a great time at each other's houses, or going shopping together, or, for example, some, the cool kids, already started to have some kind of parties and meet up at the weekends. And I saw this, and I wasn't popular back then. I had my friends, and I was accepted by many people, but I felt slowly but surely that something is missing, and I loved the cool kids, and I also wanted to be a cool kid. But how do you change from a kind of sporty nerd, because I was really obsessed with my sport, to being the cool girl invited to every party? And let me tell you, it took me a while, but I made that shift. Maybe it was not the healthiest shift, but I liked it. And a lot of stories happened because of that. A lot of stories that I can tell now, and I'm happy because I was able, even though I didn't see that back then, it just automatically kind of happened. It was magical when I now look back at these things, at this transformation. But I wanted to tell you that this is possible. So I slowly for surely just started to change my life. I stopped sport because of that, but also because of school, because I really needed more time to study for school. Um, then I also, yeah, had a best friend. So we did all this process together, and then I just kind of changed my style. And I was thinking about, or in the beginning, who I want to be. What do I want to be called? What I imagined some kind of movie character with all the things this person is feeling and how she's behaving and what she's doing in her free time, because she has a lot of free time. And yeah, then I just did the steps and kind of grew into that character I made out in my head. This was so powerful because after a while, I think really, really the person that I then imagined I was after kind of 2 years. But I really fast grew into it. It took me some weeks or months. I don't know exactly. The point is that I imagined a whole other character in my mind that I wanted to be like, and then I did the steps and became that person. I'm not recommending changing your life like this to get from the sporty person to the party person. But I just wanted to show you that a big change is possible. That you can just imagine another person, another life somehow in your mind. I also recommend doing a vision board, seeing who is there where you want to be, what what do you like in other people, what are you seeing in other people, which character traits do you see and do you like, and then you can just imagine that and take the first step, and then magic will come. So you're not forced to have the same life your whole life, do the same things all over again that aren't making you happy, and you aren't meant to be the same person day in and day out every single day. You got this. And personality development, this whole bubble with these coaches and speakers and books and podcasts like this one and everything else, they are so powerful tools we're having access to. And I wish I knew about this bubble and these kind of things earlier. They are really supporting you. But of course, you can also just slowly, really more slowly, do it your own way. You can always do it your own way. You don't have to read every book and every topic or like every speaker. You can just always pick whatever you want to in every event, whatever resonates with you, whatever you feel like you need. So you need to get back to your feelings, to your intuition. This is so important. What is your heart telling you? And when you don't hear that yet, you will just start. This is most important. Just start, even when it's imperfect. You need to start, just so that you know that you can always just change by yourself, sometimes with little steps, sometimes instead of watching TV in the evening, just grabbing a book, instead of always braiding your hair, wear them open, whatever, or instead of listening to radio or to music, listen to a podcast, or instead of drinking juice, drink water to get more healthy. It's these little steps that add on to such a big change. And don't say to yourself that you have to change everything. It's also a lot of about compassion, self-compassion and self-love, to be kind to yourself on your way, because it's a way. We humans often underestimate what we can do in 5 years and overestimate what we can do in 1 year. So we're expecting a really big change after a little of time, and then the change doesn't come. So we just stop doing the stuff. But maybe it would have just taken a little bit longer. And then we would have achieved something really important. Something would have really changed to the positive for ourselves. So we just need to keep going. And the people who have it all, who achieve their goals, they are not always the ones working the hardest or having the greatest skills at the beginning. They just kept doing it and over again, and they just kept learning and doing, and they never gave up. So don't give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. Create your own person. Create your own life. You got this. For sure, you got this. But why should you change now? Why? I want to continue on this topic now, to dive deeper, because maybe you thought or you're still thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but why should I get moving? And when I start, it's so hard, I'm not motivated, or something you feel is holding you back. And to be honest, normally this would now be another episode, but these English episodes are intense. They are on point, they are intense, and they are really long, and we dive deep. So we continue now. We continue to dive deep. I'm always confused by these words, but you're getting it. So I'm giving you the motivational push you might need when you're not convinced yet, or when you still feel something somehow is always and still now holding you back. So why should you change now? Or why should you change your life now? Maybe something comes into your mind. Maybe it's not convincing enough. Maybe there's nothing coming into your mind. Doesn't matter. We have to really get into one feeling. And I want to share with you this one feeling that forever has changed how I'm looking at my life, how I'm living my life, and also how motivated I am. And this changed how I was able to change dramatically and have a life more aligned with my true self. This is what I say when I say that I know the vision and version of myself that I want, and I know where I am right now. I'm kind to myself most of the time, but I'm getting there. And I need the energy to keep moving. I got moving, sometimes I stopped, so sometimes it's also again get into moving again, and this is totally normal. As I talked to you in my Instagram story the day before yesterday, that I'm really exhausted, and that we sometimes, all of us, don't have the energy to do even simple things. So this is normal. You need your relaxing episodes and times. This is really important to gain back your energy. So when we know how we want to be and who we want to be and what feels good for ourselves, this is in these moments where we are living this is where we are most aligned with our true selves. We just feel that this is who we are, this is how it's meant to be. So how do you get that push? I've experienced this push now twice in my life, and I can tell you we can create this for ourselves, and it is possible, and it is really powerful. And I've experienced that, but what I've also experienced that life is more powerful in my experience so far. So you've got the possibility to read these books from self-development, do coachings, and you listen to podcasts, and just be in that personality development bubble, which is really important, which is a great companion, I'd say, somehow. And what is even more intense and can make more with yourself, as I experienced it, is for me live events. When you're really on seminars and when you're there surrounded by like-minded people, when you're listening to a speaker or several speakers, and you're just in this energy bubble and everything just drops into yourself, a lot of stuff into your unconscious also, and this can really give you a push. And I've experienced that on the topic that is the real push, I'd say, on the Greater Festival in Germany 1.5 years ago, where Maxim Mankiewicz was telling us about life, simply about life and being immortal. I hope this is the right word. Oops. So what I want to tell you is that no matter how old you are, no matter how healthy you think you're living, how your background story is from you and your family, you might think you will be really old and have a lot of time to do whatever you like, what you're dreaming of, to feel whatever you want to feel like. But let me shock you a little bit. Let me tell you that you might not. No matter in which situation you're right now, how safe you might feel, you can always just die. This sounds so dry. Yeah, but that's the truth. You don't know when you're listening to this what life is there for you, what will happen. So in every second, just not when you're just hiding somewhere. I mean, you could just sit somewhere and just stop breathing, kind of. Everything can happen. And when you can get into that feeling of you can die, so and you can't wait. Really get into that feeling, get it into your body that you only have this life and you don't know how long it will last. So it's important to now be the person you want to be, to now do the things you want to do, to live your dreams, to have these fulfilling relationships, to just be. And maybe sometimes it's just about not being angry for such a long time, or not fighting with someone, or it's just about that one book starting to read today instead of again saying, okay, I'll have time tomorrow, because maybe there's no tomorrow. Maybe there's no tomorrow for you. And I don't want you to think that everything then doesn't matter, because it does matter. Everything you do matters. And as I said before in this podcast episode, everything has a ripple effect. And even when you won't be around here on this earth anymore, your life and your actions will still affect others. So it matters. And worst thing that could happen is you give your best, you live your dream life, and you have a long life. So you have a long, great life. You're not waiting for your life to get better. You're making it better. And really internalize that, this feeling of, hey, I'm worthy. I am making the best and most out of my life, no matter what. Give this promise to yourself. I'm making the best out of my life, no matter what. And sometimes it can be challenging, but it's important to know that we have the power. We have the power, and we can get back the power in a certain kind of way we will live. And when forgiving other people and ourselves, there's a lot of power that we have in our past that we can get back. There's a lot of practice we can do, a lot of healing we can do. Here again, healing is so important. So I'm really recommending to not, as many people do, just ignore death, because death is real. As you got birthed, you will die. One day, whenever that will be. You can't do anything against that right now. So we have to confront ourselves with that. We have to talk with people about death, our own death, just to not be afraid of that, but to see death and dying one day as a possibility to make this life now greater, because we know we have a certain time here. We don't know how long this time is, but we can make the best out of it. And when you can get even a little bit of this feeling into your life through these words, maybe because you're more thinking about these topics, maybe also watching some movies. Even the high school movie Before I Fall helped me a lot to get nearer to this topic of death and to making the most out of my life, because I'm alive now. There's no use in being afraid of dying when I'm wasting my time with being afraid, instead of just living and having a great time, being full of love, being brave, just doing, just being. Yeah. And I really recommend so that you confront yourself in different ways with this topic, that you internalize this feeling of being immortal and not immortal, so you can die. Yeah, you're getting it. That you will die at one point. There's no way out of this life alive. Because I thought that I internalized this feeling, that I lived it, but I kind of twice got lost in not loving every day and embracing it as it is. I just forgot it somehow. I got lost once last year in the everyday life, simply in surviving the everyday life, because it was not easy for me to have enough money and to do all the responsibilities. And the second time I got lost, feels like even more lost, was a few months ago while traveling, because I traveled and I liked it, but sometimes I felt like days are precious, but not every day was precious. And then challenging time began, and I got to know myself again. I found myself again and what I really like, and now I'm working on my goals again, on myself again. I'm on this healing journey, and I was grateful for every single day, even though the days were painful, really painful, but they were still the best days ever, because every day can be the best day ever. It's just, you're just one decision away from that, and some actions, of course. But it's about framing your mind in the morning. Yes, today's the best day ever. And in the evening, today was the best day ever. And you know what? Tomorrow will be the best day ever again. So you don't necessarily, I think, need to have something you're not expecting in your life to happen so that you get in touch with these topics again. You can do the work by yourself. But as I said, I'm working a lot on myself, and I'm healing a lot. I'm on my healing journey. I'm really doing a lot, and also intense things. But I also got lost. I got lost twice, and then life gifted me with things happening that woke me up, that got me back onto my path, and wasn't easy, but I'm so grateful because I'm now nearer to my true aligned self and to my higher self and my dream vision version of myself that I was ever before, just because I learned the lessons and I got reminded that your life is precious. You don't know when it ends, so live every day like the best day ever and start now. Start now to live your dreams. Start now to become the person you want to be. And not only have these goals you're chasing and these dreams, but to enjoy the path. Enjoy every single step, on the hard days, on the easy days, on the happy days, on the sad days, on the painful days, on the amazing days. Every single day and every single action, they matter. And you matter. So find yourself and live your best day ever, every day, while enjoying the path to your dream, beautiful, happy life. You deserve it. You only need to start to ask yourself, who am I really? Thank you for your time. What insights or lessons did you gain from today's episode? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments. Would you like to be part of my extraordinary journey and find inspiration along the way? Then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram. As always, you'll find the links in the show notes. Wishing you a magical day. See you soon, yours, Maya.